Good morning, guys, and welcome to Unique Not Different with me, Shamla. And only yesterday, I found out that today is World Hearing Day. And when I found out from Dominique, I was like, really, I did not know. So it's so fitting that, I have someone, a guest who has an incredible story. When I heard it, could you imagine that receiving no formal education and then you, with your own mindset, working your way up to become a public relations officer? Well, this is Stephen Dookhran, and this is Rihanna, his interpreter. Good morning.
Good morning. He said good morning.
How are you?
He said I am very good.
So, my first question is, what was the reason, if you care to share, why didn't you receive any formal education growing up?
Is that okay? Well, when I was small, my mom tried, to find a school for me, Cascade School, but that Cascade School was so far from where I lived, and our parents didn't have, their jobs wasn't enough to provide that. So we went to Marabella School. That school was full at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to a primary school, but that was for hearing people, and I was the only deaf there. That didn't work. I could see that the math was easier for me to understand, being deaf, but after that, that was just it. How could I communicate? Everybody, when they communicate with me, they're pointing everywhere to try to communicate. But then I had a deaf friend named Roger.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember his last name. But he helped me, start sign language, taught me the ABC, and my family practiced and we communicated because communication is very important with sign language. And then my friend went and he found a place in Separia. And every Tuesday there was Bible study, So I used that class there, and I tried to, connect. Yeah, it's not like a school, but, I learned certain skills like house training, yes, and that type of thing. But when it came to academics, no. But I loved reading English, social studies, reading. I loved it, on my own, learning about life and that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And my friend told me, you should try the newspapers. He said, I hated the newspapers. Newspapers are boring. But I tried, and as time went by, I found a job eventually. It was a low-paying job, but that didn't matter, I used to sit a lot, and while sitting and being bored, I'd read and just keep pushing and trying myself with the reading, learning, and as time went by, I improved. I didn't have a degree, I don't have a certificate, nothing.
But can you ask him what, after being let down in terms of being pushed away in the mainstream school, etc., what motivated you to, go forward and keep learning and figuring out, okay, this is how I would learn?
He said, well, inside, it was like, hearing people used to look at me, laugh at me, he can't, but deep down I knew I could, and I just went up and up and up until I got better and better, and people then were shocked. But my father, he didn't want me to go anywhere because he was ashamed that I was deaf, but, now, as I pushed myself, he was shocked and he could see that, I was able to get through.
Did you wait as an adult to go out and so on? Because you just mentioned that your father, didn't want you to go out. Did you wait as an adult to have that independence?
He said no. Yeah. Well, learning at home, at school, I had a little teacher who used to tell me, at least go and travel, do things on your own. Don't depend on your parents. I was like 10, and it was me alone, and I watching, and it's like, I was a little nervous, but, my best friend, Ian, he helped me learn to travel by myself, and that was when I was able to. My parents were afraid, but, I told them not to worry, I can, I learned and as I got along.
Can you tell me about your current position as a public relations officer?
You say, okay. I work with Tahi as a PRO. But before that, I was a director, and then I became the PRO. It was to support the deaf more and better their development here in Trinidad and Tobago. For example, with education, training, and anything, any way that I can, so that it could become more developed and more deaf people would learn that they can do things. Hearing people think that there's a lot that the deaf can't do, They're saying that we're dumb. That word I hate to see. Or we're mute. I hate that word. That is bad. That is a very bad word. Plenty of people say, oh gosh, I'm so sorry you're deaf. I don't want to hear any of that. I don't want to hear that sorry word either. We are just like the hearing. We are normal. We have the same human rights.
I know that you have a wife and 3 children. Your wife, is she verbal?
My wife is deaf,
okay.
And my children are hearing.
Okay.
And the children, they know sign.
And you taught them?
Yeah, they learn by looking at us. We didn't have to do much teaching, but in communicating with them, go clean, go wash the dishes. They learn the sign in that way.
So,
mama, dada, that's what they learn to say, and then they learned father and mother was the right way, and they just kept improving after that.
That's amazing. And when they go to school, do they use it, the sign language?
I don't know. But most time they interpret for me if they get a phone call, they interpret for me. I feel so happy to have them. It's easier for me.
So now you teach sign language. Can you tell me where can anyone who is interested contact you to learn sign language?
Okay, you can contact me via WhatsApp. You can also check me on Facebook. My name's Dookhran, that same way. I can give my number, 704 5026.
Can you say it again?
704 5026. Use WhatsApp. Remember, don't call me. Thank you.
That is what I did. And then I got a message. I was like, oh my God, I feel so dumb. So, in closing, what would you like to tell Trinidad and Tobago in terms of, seeing somebody that communicate different, to do things different? What would you like to tell them based on your journey?
Right. Why sign language? It's a good way to communicate with the deaf. The deaf community. For example, when it comes to if there's an emergency, fire, in hospitals, there are lots of people, go to the police and they're asking, bring your family instead. No, why can't you just talk to me? Yeah, I myself, would have some private information I'd like to talk to you about. No, I have to bring a family member and have to rely on them. No, you could write, you could learn to sign as well. It's very important, sign language. So please, learn sign language. It is important, sign language.
I guess make it a universal language. Yeah. So with that being said, I just want to say thank you so much for coming and sharing your story. And Rihanna, thanks for coming and interpreting as always.
Anytime.
Thank you so much. And with that being said, guys, I just want to wish you, a happy Tuesday. And until next week, I'm signing out until be good, do good. Bye, guys.